Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Today we are on UAE DevFest and we have Abdelfettah.
Hello.
It's our pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you.
And, you are one of the most people traveling around with the events and everywhere.
All right.
So let's start about your story, about your role with Google and what you are doing in your daily basis.
Sure. So I'm Abdelfettah. I'm a developer advocate in the Google Cloud team, based in Stockholm, Sweden. I'm originally from Morocco, if people are curious where my name is from. I've been at Google for 12 years. I moved a bunch around, and now in the developer advocacy team, I'm part of this team called Global Developer Advocacy. So we do a bunch of things as a team. Mostly we produce content that is targeted toward developers, and specifically technical contents that would help developers use our products. So everybody in my team does a little bit things differently. Advocacy is not really a defined job. It's basically whatever you want it to be. So we have a lot of freedom actually to be whatever we want. It's basically mostly centered around content creation, podcast videos, articles, things like that, blog posts, things like that. Also content creation in the sense of creating talks and, the slides and the demos and all the stuff that goes with it. And code samples, we do also create some code samples or some examples, demos, or workshops, hands-on workshops. It's actually when I'm doing a hands-on workshop later today. And we also work with the product team. So in my particular case, I work with everything that has to do with containers, so Kubernetes, GKE, the products. So we help them with UX studies. We help them test products or features before they make it to the public. We call ourselves customer zero. So we test things before they become public. And and then we also work quite a lot with the GDG teams. So we usually go to DevFests. We speak at DevFests. We sometimes we do trainings for GDEs to help them understand our contents and help them use our contents in our events. So so it's a little bit of everything. I would say it's kind of like a role that combines a little bit of marketing, a little bit of engineering, obviously, and then a little bit of education as well.
Amazing. So let's step back one. How did you start all of this? This is your background, but this is your story, how you end up with the Google and talking about all of this technology.
Yeah, so I grew up in Morocco. I did a master's in software engineering, and then I started working there for a Moroccan company. My first role, I have a bit of an atypical career in the sense that, and I didn't follow the high school bachelor kind of master's path. I did my own thing. I did high school, obviously, but then I went to this school in Morocco, which is kind of like a trade school, we call it. It's essentially you study for 2 years, and the goal is that you want to just get a job after 2 years. I didn't get a job. I just wanted to do a master's. Then I finished my master's, started working in a company, and the company I was working for was actually a data center. That's another kind of weird thing, which is I didn't really work in a software job. I worked in a company that has a data center that hosts other companies' websites, applications, servers, things like that. So my background is really infrastructure. My background is pure low-level server, storage, networking, all of that jazz, right? That's essentially how I started. With, of course, the engineering background in software engineering, which basically meant that a lot of the work I was doing was automation. So writing scripts, I'm very good in Bash. And then 2013, Google got in touch from a recruiter, and they were looking actually for somebody to join somehow a similar role in Belgium. So it was in touch. I did all the interviews and I got a job, and I joined Google in Belgium initially. So we have, for those who doesn't know, we have a very big data center in Belgium. It's actually, I think, Google's largest data center today in Europe is in Belgium. Yeah. So I joined there and I worked there for 4 years. I worked in basically a server maintenance, server installation team, automation tool team. So our job is just to install capacity for Google. And this was around the same time that Google Cloud was kind of becoming to be a little bit serious internally. We had Google Cloud for a very long time. For those of you who are old like me, you remember App Engine probably. And then we eventually at some point released virtual machines called GCE, Google Compute Engine. And then around 2013, 2014, Google Cloud started becoming a big product and growing very fast internally. So in 2017, I wanted to just do something else. And I moved to Sweden, where I joined a team called Professional Services, which is a consulting team. So I was working for Google, but I was working mostly with external customers. So I would go to a customer and we have a project for a month or two, whatever, and we would just like help them architect, migrate an application, architect it, do something like whatever that they need. Like essentially customers that want Googlers who have knowledge of Google Cloud to work with them, we will come and basically help them get up to speed very quickly on the platform, right?
Amazing, actually. So what make you in daily basis excited? What is your passion? How you make all of these?
My passion is in education, actually. I love teaching people things, right? I love transferring knowledge. I did a little bit of pure teaching, and I realized very quickly I don't like it. But I tried it actually when I was still in school, in university. I tried just teaching on the side as like a side job, and I did it for 1 month and then hated it absolutely because kids are spoiled. I don't have passion for.
How many kids you was have?
I mean, it's not kids. It was people that study after high school. So it was like a development, like a school that teaches software development for people who come out of university, not university, high school, and then they want to like learn how to code. But it was a private school, which means that everybody paid to be there, and people did not really have passion for me. So I was teaching algorithms in C++, and very physics stuff, right?
Exactly.
So anyway, I tried that for 2 years. I didn't like it, and then when I was actually still in university, I was always kind of passionate about like doing presentations, talking, things that I learned, just turn them into a content that can be easy to understand for people. And this is something that I'm passionate about, because I think that fundamentally, if you're a developer or if you're in the tech industry, hopefully you are a continuous learner. Because the industry is moving so fast and changing so fast, you have to be up to date. And most of the time you're consuming content either on YouTube or some sort of like blog that you're reading or something like that. So I love to be on the other side of the people who are producing that content. That's essentially something that I'm very passionate about. And now with Gen AI, it's even like, there is even more need, I think, for people to learn how this thing can be useful.
100%. So let's go, how AI now support you on this one?
Yeah. I do use AI lots, right? So part of my job is actually working right now, focusing on making or putting Gen AI in production for customers. So how do you run LLM, large language model yourself if you don't want to use, on any of the hosted models? How do you put it in production? How do you scale it? How do you run it? How do you recover from failure? All of that stuff. Like you can call that the DevOps stuff, right? But that's kind of what I'm working on. I'm specifically focused on the Kubernetes side because mainly Kubernetes is one of these tools that is used by a lot of Gen AI companies. I think 99% of them uses Kubernetes for production anyway. And so that's part of what I'm covering quite a lot. And I use AI a bunch. I mean, I like if there is a white paper, I would not read it entirely. I would just like feed it to Gen AI and get a summary, for example. That would be one of them. I use it to actually make my slides better. So if I make a slide deck, I will just run it by generative AI. There is like a Gemini in Workspace now in Google Slides that basically can run through your slides and correct any mistakes or whatever, find sources, find links, things like that. Actually, I use that quite a lot for finding sources. So if you are writing an article, for example, and you want to find links to statements or to something that you write in the article, it's very easy with Gemini. Just like highlight whatever you want and say like find source, and then it will find it for you, right? So that's one of them. As a coding assistant, obviously I use it quite a lot. Gemini Code Assist, for those of you who doesn't know, I'm a terrible front-end developer. I don't like to write front-end at all, and I basically just vibe code front-end with generative AI. I did a demo very recently, which required me to, basically the demo was running multiple large language models on Kubernetes, and I wanted to write a front end that would allow me to write one prompt and send it to all these large language models at the same time, and then get all the outputs, display them on the interface, and then show like timing, so how much it took each large language model to process my prompt. So I just vibe code it in React. I have no idea how it works. If it breaks, I will not be able to fix it. But so yeah, I use it for that. And then Gemini CLI quite a lot. It's what I'm going to talk about today. It's fantastic. I come from a Linux background, so I'm spending half my time on the console, on the shell, and the Gemini CLI is great, right? So and also to keep writing mediocre bash code because I really love writing bash code, mediocre bash code very specifically. And it's a fantastic assistant actually.
Yes, it's amazing actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm background with IT, so yes, I love all of this. And AI literally helping us now with everything else, in business and everything. So the question, how to take this via AI, use it in our companies as a professional, how to build a business case, how to build the use case, how to decide that this is what I want to use to build my user journey. This is what I want to use to increase our sales. This is etc. So what do you think?
I mean, I would, whatever generative AI you are using, I would still always think that you need a human to verify that whatever it generated is actually valid, right?
Yeah.
Because these things do hallucinate quite a lot, and they do generate BS sometimes. So you need to make sure that you know what they generated, and you can validate it. But I mean, a very quick, very simple example would be how to go from an idea to an MVP in like very quickly, in literally minutes. So you start with an idea and then you just vibe code a minimal viable product just to get an idea about how it looks like, right? I wouldn't vibe code an application and put it in production. If we want to put it in production, I would write a proper app, but just vibe coding something very small, just to like give it a try.
Concept.
Exactly. As a proof of concept, that would be one of them. Anything around research, anything around like UX, user experience research, mockups, and like Gemini has this feature called Canvas, which essentially you can go to Gemini, activate Canvas, and then you can build a mock-up of a user interface very quickly, which is very, very easy to do. If you're using something like Gemini has a deep research feature, which you can turn on, and it basically goes and scrapes the web for sources around that specific topic that you want to research, and then creates a report for you. That would be great for like business use cases, like you're trying to validate if an idea is good or bad. Just do a deep research about it, right? Like just basically write a prompt, activate deep research. Gemini will run through it, identify a bunch of sources like websites that it thinks will be valid for this particular research, and then you can trigger the research. Then you just go script all these websites, get the content from them, and then create a summary and create like a full-blown report, right? To be honest, I don't know how scientists are going to be writing papers going forward, because it writes really good.
No, that's actually help.
So that would be another use case. Just like a notebook LM is another amazing tool that you can use, because it allows you to basically give it a bunch of sources. So you start with your own sources like YouTube videos, Google Docs, Google Slides, websites, things like that, and you can literally interact with it. So it go scripts all these websites, create a summary, and then you can ask it questions about that content. So if you're a student, your notebook LM is fantastic, and so there is quite a lot of use cases actually that GenAI can help with. It's pretty nice.
We will list the top 5 now.
Okay,
Use cases.
Top 5 generative AI use cases. All right, so research, this would be one of them. Summarization is another one, right? You can literally summarize an entire book, right?
Yeah.
Coding assistance for sure, right? Image editing. I hate image editing. I am not really good at Photoshop. I am not, I don't really like to do video editing, but I don't know if you tried Nano Banana. Did you try it? It's amazing, right? It's great. Yeah.
Doesn't dream it.
Yeah. You can just like give it a prompt, and I think Cassia was doing a talk earlier, which she was like Superwoman with like the Burj Khalifa as well. Yeah. That was amazing. And and then just notebook LM for research in general. It's fantastic. If you're actually a student, I think it's coming either now or it's already there. I don't know when the video will be out, but the notebook LM is available for free, but it's limited in what it can do, right? But there is this thing called the Gemini Pro plan, which is a paid plan normally. It's like $250 a month or something, which gives you all of Gemini features unlimited, plus notebook LM unlimited. And it's gonna be available in the UAE for students coming soon. It's already available in
Egypt, I think.
Cairo and KSA, yeah?
Yes.
But it's coming to UAE and a bunch of the other Gulf countries, and it's also coming to Morocco and a bunch of North African countries. So you need a student email like an acts.edu, and
Of university,
yeah,
yes.
and then you get like a 1 year free plan on the pro plan. So that contains Gemini Pro, the last version, Notebook LM Unlimited, like 2 terabytes of storage, and a lot of other features. So it's pretty cool.
So since we are talking about the students, so now we have many of students asking us where to focus, or after we get to graduate as a fresh, where to go? Because now we have many options,
Yeah.
but you don't know which road to
take.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a very good question. My general advice that I was giving people maybe before GenAI was a thing was to always tell people to focus on the fundamentals. If you are a developer, you are a developer, which means you know how to write code and how to read code. It doesn't really matter which programming language, you just know how code works, right? If you are like students coming out of university, the fundamentals are programming, computer science, distributed computing, networking, security, databases, things like that. Those are the fundamentals, right? The basic things. And that's essentially have been my strategy in my career for like almost 15 years now. I am I'm a very firm believer that it doesn't matter what technology you want to learn, you can learn it later. If you master the fundamentals, if you really know the fundamentals very well. Whatever else that you need to learn later, it will be easy to learn. So that would be my advice. But now with GenAI, I would say focus on the fundamentals, but also learn how to use GenAI to your advantage. Learn how to do prompting properly. Actually, prompt engineering is a discipline. People do spend time learning how to write prompts. Use it as an assistant. Just use it as an extra brain to help you, and then it shouldn't really matter. Usually, when you are a student, hopefully at some point you will have an internship. So use the internship as a way to figure out what you want to do and what you don't want to do specifically. So if your internship is in mobile development, I'm talking about my particular case. I did my internship in mobile development, and I realized after 6 months I don't like it, right? So that was a great way to figure out, okay, I know what I don't want to do, right? I mean, if you're young and you just graduate from university, just try out. You have nothing to lose. Just, start with a job. If you don't like it, move to something else.
Yeah, if you have this options to move here and choose,
yes,
and for internship. So we have one advice. If you couldn't secure an internship, at least we have all the searches now online. They can go search and try as a freelancer until they go and build something. So let's say as a final tip or something you want to share with our community.
Yeah, this actually would be a follow-up to the discussion if you are students. The power of community, right? Look if there is a community near you, GDG, AI, whatever, it doesn't matter. Go to meetups, join them. That's a great way to actually network and get to know people.
Yourself.
And also to market yourself, yeah. Have a very good up-to-date LinkedIn profile for sure. It's actually very useful. And I would say probably this is generic advice. It maybe comes natural to some people, but not to everyone. Just learn English. English is the language of IT. It doesn't really matter where you are in the world. English is super useful as language. Just spend time mastering language is great. And if you can learn other languages, that's also good. I speak 3, but people get jealous. So yeah, that would be my advice.
Amazing. Thank you. Abdelfettah, it was a pleasure to have you with us today, and looking forward to your talk today with DevFest. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Shukran.